Anyone else before I close? Senator Dolezal and then Senator Heath. Go ahead, Senator Dolezal. Let me get you.
Mr. Chairman, you've been exalted, and I'll echo the exaltation, and I will extend that to Chairman Heath as well. I thought that the meeting this morning laid a nice groundwork, and it was nice to be able to Mr. Chairman Tillery's point earlier, to be able to ask questions of the Secretary's staff, if nothing else than to inform ourselves and inform our constituents, is to the way that this works. What didn't get discussed today that I think is important to illuminate is the fact that we discovered, really by accident, significant structural flaws in the way that we conduct our elections. We had 4 counties discover thousands of ballots via a risk-limiting audit that was never supposed to happen. The audit wasn't supposed to happen this year. It was supposed to be a pilot that was happening in the future, and it was never envisioned to be every county counting every vote, period. So the system worked because we got lucky. We have a significant problem when we don't know when we finish an election that the numerator matches the denominator. The fact that we don't know the denominator. We hear at one point in time at 6 o'clock one morning that there's 25,000 more votes to go, and then we hear at 10 o'clock that there's 45,000 more votes to go. I understand somebody may have misspoken that, but there's no master place that any one of us could go to the Friday after the election and say, here's how many votes are left to count, because we know how many ballots came in and we know how many ballots have been counted. That's simple blocking and tackling when it comes to functioning something like this. This is one big data exercise. And we have to get the blocking and tackling correct to instill confidence in this process. Because when you find thousands of missing ballots, when you hear that one number is still outstanding, then you hear that another number is still outstanding, there's none of us that can stand behind a podium and say this process is working well. We keep hearing this caveat around the irregularities or the fraud. And the caveat is that it's not enough to change the outcome of the election. That's the consistent caveat. Gabe Sterling said in a press conference that he knows there was fraud in this election. How does he know that? Is he wrong? Is he right? What he also said was, but we know it's not enough to change the election. How does he know that? There's 250 open investigations and probably should have been more. We heard this morning from the Secretary's office that 300 people double voted again. We had 1,000 people double vote in June, apparently. 300 double voted this time. They said the number was down. They told us there were 70 felons that voted. We've heard about thousands of people where their ballots were sent out of state. We were also told that we know that we're asking a lot of the election officials to review 1.3 million signatures, something we've never asked them to do before. The Secretary tells us it's not the best way to do it. But we won't even go through the process to review a random sample of those signatures to figure out how well we did. That's unacceptable. We owe it to ourselves as the people that are charged with the responsibility of getting this process right to understand when the system was stressed and when it was flexed, how did we perform? There's not one business in America that would go through this process and have something change in that manner and do zero review. And ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the signature match process, we've done zero review. It may have been flawless. I would like to be able to say that it was flawless. But I don't think that any of us believe that it was flawless. Because I don't believe that any of us think that our signatures are consistent enough over a period of time from when you last got your driver's license. Senator Beach, I'm sure you got yours within the last couple of years, but I got mine 10 years ago. My signature's changed. There is an incredible amount of disinterest in the media and frankly from the minority party in really digging into this process. And I do respect the senators who were here today, but there is not a call for a signature audit. There has not been a call for investigations. We've heard for the last month that this State Farm Arena situation was under investigation. Why did it take us a month to get a video? Why did it take us a month to get a video, and it wasn't even produced by an employee of the state? That's patently absurd. We have to do better, and we can do better. That video is a bombshell. You saw the media and the observers leave the room at the same time. That tells you they were told to leave. Why were they told to leave? The media needs to get interested in this, and they need to get interested in this quickly, because they have a role to play in this as well. And the fact that I can guarantee you, well, I can't guarantee you. I would suspect that if the allegations were on the other foot and in the other direction, that we wouldn't have waited a month for an open records request to be filed, or however they obtained that video to see that video. We have to get a lot more curious, because we have to get it right. And Senator Parent, I'm not intending to throw you under the bus, and I apologize for my comments about what I just said, but I do really wish that I sensed a bipartisan effort to dig into the details of what happened so that we can affirm it in either direction. This, to me, is not about who won an election. I don't think this is about who won an election to you. I don't think this is about who won. You referenced, maybe our elections aren't legitimate. We don't know what happened because we haven't lifted up the hood to look. 1.3 million signatures, and we haven't bothered to look. And I would like to link arms with anybody, regardless of party, to get to the bottom of exactly what happened so that we can move forward, and quite frankly, so that we can do a better job and know what laws we need to change. We've all gotten a little bit of a baptism by fire in election law and what our state laws say, but whether it is a special session, which I do think we need to have, or it is when we come back in January, we have our work cut out for us, and we don't know what we need to change unless we look at exactly what happened. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Heath.